Says meeting is now streaming live on Facebook. I'm going to trust that. Okay, so hello. Ooh, let me turn the heater up. Oh, it's a great day. My name is Brenda Jean Power, Medicine Woman. I am from Medicine Woman Solution. There is a solution for every problem. There really is. Some of the things you are not able to see, there is actually an answer. So as I started off, um, I listen to Spirit every day, and there is looking at the quantum field. And as you look at the quantum field, they're just suggestions. And one variable will be stronger than the other, but that'll depend on your towards and away from. If you want to go towards something, these are the there. If you have an away from, which is to stop you from proceeding forward. So it's like, I love this example of you knew poverty, you knew it well, you want away from poverty, okay, and you want to go towards richness. So you have richness over here. But as you are looking, okay, as you begin to look, which way are you facing? Are you facing richness, or are you, I can't turn it, or are you facing poverty? So if your thinking is your director, if you watch your 41 thoughts per minute, you'll be able to see which way you're facing. So if you're facing, I don't want poverty, I don't want this, because you know it so well, it's how you know it that keeps you trapped in that away from. So I like to tell my students, clients, tribal members that you need to look at what you're thinking. And I can't, and know how you know it. And that is where you apply the tool on the energy of, I know what poverty is. Let me tell you, and it's that to which you know your story, that your life force you keep feeding into. You want to change it, but you don't remember, and you don't know what it feels like to have that experience. And here's the kicker. If your energy is facing poverty and it has all of the stories, then you won't be able to bring in this opportunity. It looks like I got a unibrow. Bring in this opportunity. I love people's thoughts. As you bring in this unity, you have to understand, if this is what you're aiming for, your 41 thoughts direct you. As you get directed, you will start noticing, well, I really don't know what it's like to be rich. Instead of going, wah, 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 damn, show me experiences. Go watch TV. Open up the catalog of life. Look at, what the catalog of life. So back in the day, tells you how old I am, is that we had catalogs where you could shop for Christmas and things, the JCPenney catalogs, the Sears catalogs, the things from Michigan. I don't know what kind of catalogs you had over here in South Australia, but you open it up and you go to the Christmas section and you can browse. Oh my gosh, no, yes. And then if you got siblings and they want what you want, you're like, nah, I can't have it because they have it, whatever. But the point is you got to get over that. It's a catalog. I wouldn't want a boy toy. It's not that it's bad. It's just, that's not me. So you're learning to find you. And here's the kicker. If you are liking something because somebody else likes it, you are going to get screwed over. Or if you go to the shops and you go shopping and you get in that collective that says, oh, we want this, that's the latest trend, then you're going to spend money on something you really don't want because you really don't know if it's you. So you have to find out who you are. So in the theme of understanding, first, you open the catalog, notice that you can choose. Notice, is that really me or not me? Am I want it because somebody else has it? Or I want it because the collective says you have to spend money in order to survive. And then you don't have money because you're aiming towards poverty because you know it so well. And you got, every month you have bills and all this. So you have to take how you know it out. Take a tool. Oh my OMG, EFT, take a tool. Take the relationships, code switching with money to that experience. And it's another thing you can do. And when you do, you will be surprised that when you start to, those thoughts that are controlled by those emotions calm down because you're controlling the emotions, And it's not, I'm controlling them, I'm stifling them. No, that's not what I'm saying. Not overcoming either. You are moving into a direction that you've forgotten on a higher level. You have become so human, you have forgotten. You have become so the ego and the experience, the false self, the false mask that we wear, you have forgotten. And as you begin to naturally kick in innate healing, the emotions become resolved, and then your thoughts become evolved, and you can think better. And then you'll be able to see the different options in the third option. And it's not that I have three choices. You know, I got this choice, and this choice. Which one should I take? Is this the third option? No, let's take it deeper. It is when you have fear or you have controlled by the ego, you can only see two options with a bazillion other alternatives. But the third option is when two sides of you are opposing each other. And within that is the wisdom. Okay? It is when you take two circles and you overlap them. And when you overlap them, it's in that overlap, that's where a lot of the wisdom is. It is in the third option. Neither side needs to compromise. Neither side needs to play tug of war. But there are answers in that, which, you know, it's in that middle. It's right there. It's the third option, like the third eye. Do you ever take and, you know, stare at something to your eyes crossed, you know, or you, I used to do this with my kids. I used to put my forehead against their forehead, and I'd look at them, and all of a sudden I'd get one eye, and I could see them, and you can see something different. And as I began to, I forgot what this is called, okay? Because in Reiki, when I teach Reiki, it's that's where the energy flows through. And do you think my computer would cooperate? When spirit don't want you to find something right away, it just deludes you. You can get mad and be ego all you want. And you're like, yeah, enough's fine now, am I? Because more information is going to come in through another way, right? Oh, thanks. Okay, so, you know, it's learning to go with the flow of you inside. This is who you are. So as you begin to really hone in on that third option, you know, I go back to these two examples because they are the ones that stuck out. So my husband likes the curtain in front of the window, and I like no curtain in front of the window. And it's like, because I need certain light, you know. So we end up getting these pretty lace curtains so that we could both have what we wanted. And I was like, third option. And then my husband is used to being who he is, and you know, he dries his hands. He, you know, sometimes he takes the towel and walks off with it. And for me, I have my issue of I don't like to be wet, which means I love the bathroom, but I don't love the bathroom because it's a wet room. You know, there's no shower curtains, no nothing. And so you need towels for drying stuff off, or I do. It's my issue. But like when you wash your hands, for good God, you turn to dry your hands, and I don't want to touch my clothes, which then I laugh at myself because when I'm in the kitchen cooking, I wear it all. And yet I won't put water on my hands, which is clean. Okay, anyway. So there's an issue back there. Anyway, so I ended up taking and making some towels, and I cut some hand towels up, and I crocheted a little thing, you know, back in the day of, you know, again, see how old I am. So I crocheted it and then hooked it to a thing that, you know, so it has a little button. So when you dry your hands, it falls and you don't have to worry about it. And then if my husband's drying his hands and he's so busy, he's the Energizer Bunny, walking off with it, he can't. He has to fall. So it serves two purposes, you know, I mean, but there was that third option. Neither one of us had to feel deprived. Neither one of us had to feel and build resentment towards the other because the other gets to have what they can't. And so you're learning how to bring the two relationships together by finding that there is a third option within that space. There is one. And you don't have to play martyr. You don't have to play less than. You don't have to go to one extreme or the other. You don't have to constantly please one or the other. It is coming up with something. And so when I was listening to my head this morning, listening to spirit, it's like if you have such governments, okay, so the government is like our governing meridian, and what governs the governing meridian? It's all these issues. Okay, so why can't we have someone that's in charge that says this, or we all as the people decide these are the issues? Don't let the politicians and other people tell you what the issues are. These are the issues, and you start to see that you have to work through all these issues, and that is both sides. No matter who is elected, both sides have to come up with that third option. Look what they did to the pandemic. Look how quick. Don't fucking tell me that you can't do that, because I watched how everybody and just boom, 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 boom. Let's just pandemic. What do we got to do? Da, 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 and we're doing it. And it dawned on me, what do we do with our households? What do we do? What's going on inside of us? What governs us? Left side, right side? In the left brain, if you're more left brain controlled, then a lot of when you're stressed, it'll change the thoughts and the emotions. You're going to be in the past and you're going to be in the future. Okay, if you're more right brained, then, I can't right now, my brain just shut. Hold, they switched. Ha! It's okay.
Okay, while you're in that mode, change the price.
Oh, that's true. So that's why I got interrupted, because somebody had to talk in my head. See, I can always tell, like, am I having a conversation when somebody has something very important to say, because today is Thursday. And why does it cost more? Because I freaking go deeper, and I know that if I'm going to expend that much more energy, it's got to be an even keel, because I get burnt out, and I'm the one, and I'm like, wait, I'm not doing balance. But I am doing balance. Okay. So again, you can find that third option. So today, I've been watching in the last few days, and all of a sudden it's like, why is it? Because you can have the energy, it takes time, and usually you'll resonate with, and then you're going the same flow, synchronicity. Then there is morphine. It's just in a weird feeling when you morph. You don't know you do it, but that seems subtle too. And I'm not sure exactly what to call this. And they keep saying it was the day I arrived, which means the day I was born is when. And then I says, well, it's because I'm an empath. No, that plays into it. It's because I'm sensitive. No, that plays into it. Is it because I'm kinesthetic? No, it's in that third option. It is inside this spot right here is where this happens for me. What is it? And they're like, oh, we got no English word for it. I'm like, again, unibrow here. So I'm like, okay, I don't know. And they're like, shh, you're thinking with your human self. Stop it. Just stop it. I'm like, okay. So, I go and keep my ego busy. So I'm on the treadmill, and I said, holy shit. And it did it to me as I'm watching TV. And all of a sudden what will happen is to be my gallbladder meridian, where it seems that it's not that it's the weakest. It could be, but I think it's also a receiver. I mean, because we beam ourselves in because we have these receivers all over our cells. But what happens is that, oh my God, I just heard of the thing that there was all these other thoughts that came this morning. And I said, oh, I'm going to remember that. So the weakest link or to manipulate or, manipulate or need this timestamp, Amy, just make sure you put that down. Timestamp, feedback, manipulate or help get someone's attention. And then we got to talk about, well, just real quick, I have to talk about the fact that my bird was like, hey, hey, hey. I'm like, not today. Ask your dad. So, but then it's like yesterday or the day before when I was on the show, I talked about how we, use dramatization to get attention, or we use something to get attention. And sometimes we have to go in and manipulate somebody and for the weakest link. And so you're looking for that, or is it one with the biggest heart? What is this? And now we're not going there because they just want me to write that down and we come back to this. So, good God, where was I going with the other one? Well, that's why you got to pay attention, Amy. It'll come back because Spirit will tell some. So anyways, good. Hello, everybody. Yes, people understand this. Oh, you have people in Canada. It's Sears Catalog too. That's good to know. And look at all these wonderful people. Hello, Terrence. Ooh, close to the beach today. I'd like to be getting to the beach. So how are all you doing? And there's a lot going on. And now, see, they just turned me back on. The gallbladder meridian. Now, that's my theme. Now, we have in our aura a theme, part of our aura. And this theme has to do with helping us set up our life. And it has a lot of color, frequencies, numbers, everything in it. And this theme apparently comes through that third spot in that, the overlap. I don't know, I can't remember what it's called. And I mean, instantaneously, when I was born, I picked up everything, it seems like. Okay, so 9/11 would hit me harder. I'll be watching an Oreo commercial and it's like, oh shit. And I'm just bawling. And my husband goes, oh, I love your big heart. I'm like, I think it's more than just a big heart. I mean, I'm really feeling it. So I'm on the treadmill. And the next thing I hear is karma, bitch. I'm like, wait, what? When you die, one of the things that my understanding is that you have your review of your life. But you also stand in the shoes of those that were your opposite and how they received. Okay, so that's part of that kaleidoscope of perspectives. And you stand in their shoes to feel and to grow. And believe it or not, that is what I am meant to really get if I want to evolve. So this is what's called like a rapid spirituality, or choosing to wake up quickly, because as that energy, as I'm watching, I said, this is karma. And me crying over the fact that the random act of kindness, and they said, it's more than that. It's more than that. But you're balancing the karma. You're balancing things. And I'm like, huh. I mean, all of a sudden I'm like watching, I'm like, oh, yeah. And it's what that I absorbed, because I asked, is it I'm absorbing? No. Am I observing? Well, I observed, but it's not what you're observing that you can change because you observed it. It went a little bit more. I was able to see again through that lens. It was more than that. And I said, does this have to do with anything with me being able to start seeing the mirror? And they said, no, this has to do with you being able to know that I chose to rapidly want to evolve, which means it's going to be sped up a little bit more. And now I get to heal out that to which what my body has to respond to from the external. So I get to heal out certain triggers. And I'm like, oh, I mean, I was about ready to emotionally bawl, and because I came in with one of the theme is grief. And grief, good grief, bad grief, the two extreme griefs, the overexcitement, joy grief, they all affect you physically. And as I'm feeling this dog-tired, weird feeling, and then I started to do hope therapy to change it, I was so surprised that it was gone like in an instant. And well, Jesus, that was quick. But it was having to be overly. And then what I pulled from it was, there you go. I'm like, what do you mean? There you go. Now I'm starting to see the results quicker because time, you have to do it again and again and again. Now, here's the issue. Here's the resolution. Can you see it? And if you start to see it, you can bring it in faster. And if you can see the resolution and you can own that knowing, you can then change the old knowing of, oh my God. So it's going back to poverty, since I know poverty so well. But I don't really know riches, but I do know change. And by taking and changing that, how I know poverty, I change the way I look. And I'm looking in the now to create this heaven on earth. And as I'm doing that, by resolving those emotions and evolving those stories, I found a greater richness that has bonuses. And that greater richness, I was like, oh my God. So being able to stand in the glory of the now. But the turnaround time, that's what I was looking at. So they'll bitch, wait for it. Oh, there's a clue, there's a clue, there's a clue. And then as I started to change the way that I looked and looked for the answer, look through the third option, look, it came faster. Because I'm using the tools that my innate healing does for me and my inner world creates my outer world, I'm looking and I'm finding them faster. So I'm coming in alignment with more of my purpose. And on the collective whole, I'm coming more in alignment with that 5D. And it's not that I have to look and see horror. Okay, there's horror. Where's the option? Because I know in the quantum field, it's endless potentials. It's like when you take a 3-digit lock combination, you can have, I can't remember, 1 million combinations, the T2 or more or less. I don't know. But it was a high number to, okay, I could stand here all day to figure out somebody's locker combination. Or I can focus on, there it is. It's like listening to, as you're unlocking it, the chambers. Oh, click. Got it. Okay. So you know it's coming. So you live in anticipation or expectancy. Because again, good, bad, and indifferent, I know that in expectancy, instead of me being ego, expecting something and being completely disappointed, I know that there's an expectancy. But if I learn to focus on waiting for that turnaround, that to show me that there's an answer, because when you think there's no answer, yes, there is. Like the huge part was me and my husband were like, well, where's all the respirators? What about all these options? And, you got scuba divers, you got dentists, you got all of these different people that use different objects. And so last night, again, it showed, and I thought, aren't we amazing people? So when I was watching House Rules, the one person wanted a backsplash in the kitchen with wallpaper without it getting destroyed. And then the other person wanted it in the bathroom, but it had to be waterproof. And there you see them, you just see the one trying to figure out how to get something for the bathroom, put the wallpaper in the bathroom without screwing it up. And so he's, spending hours. And then she goes and calls the kitchen place. Now he's calling all, I don't remember who he's calling, Metal, Glass Works, other places. And she just called the kitchen place and says, well, how do I get a backsplash with the wallpaper on it? Now, I haven't seen that end result, so I don't know if she came up with something or not. But I remember thinking, well, how are they going to do it? My mind was problem solving. How are they going to do it? And lo and behold, the turnaround time, it's coming faster. Just that's what I want you to focus on, because the one in the bathroom, you can laser print onto glass with color and design. And so now he has a backsplash in the bathroom, and I'm sure it costs, but But it's to me how fascinating where you don't know if you're only looking and thinking, okay, if it's only kitchen supply, you can only get the answer from the kitchen. If it's only bathroom supply, you go only to the answer to the bathroom. But that's not true. You can go somewhere else and actually find an answer. You don't have to manipulate, bully, control. You just learn to problem solve and learn how to do it with your higher self. Hello, everybody. There's Candace. Haven't seen you in a while. My eyes here. Okay. I have no idea what time. How long have I been on? That's some help.
25 minutes and 13 seconds.
Oh, not too bad. Spirit's like, I hope I got that all out. Yeah. So, looking up, what does your body have to say? It doesn't sound like any of the message that, and so let's find out. One of the things, let me see here. If I were to go here and this, and then we go here, let's see. What am I looking for? I'm looking for something in particular. Amy has been spinning out, and I feel like Meniere's disease to some degree. That's not a diagnosis. That is taking, and Spirit had told me as I'm walking by, and somebody said the word. I said, "What?" Okay. I was like, "That sounds cool." Okay, cool. And the next thing I know, I'm typing it to her, and she said, yeah, it kind of feels like, but mine is not. She couldn't get help because it wasn't dizziness 24/7. And it's always linked. Now, remember, your energy, so it'll always be linked to it. But there's always a message. Your body's always talking to you. So if your body's consciousness is recalling stuff and bringing it up, and acting a certain way, symptoms and all of this, it is one, because you have rehearsed it with your thinking. And you've rehearsed it and memorized it till you stored it in the body, and so the body knows you better than you know yourself. But if your body is responding to your thoughts, then how do you also look at what you're thinking? And this gets very, very confusing, but it's what your intention, what you're aiming for. And so as I'm looking, that vibration, which I'm not sure exactly what to call it, but as I was in that third particular part of the, whatever it's called, and I did the healing, my innate wisdom began to heal this particular feeling and then took it right out. And I noticed that I instantly, my husband got hurt yesterday, nothing big. And all of a sudden I felt bad. I felt like it was my fault. I'm like, and I understood his plight. And the next thing I know, I'm going up and trying to help. And my spirit part is going, can you see what you're doing? Your body's responding. And it's like, so is this love? Well, it is, but it is also pain. And so I started to heal that out. And all of a sudden it's like, wow, so this is a reaction that is very deep. Oh my God. And yeah, he was fine. It's just that my body went into this worry, this state, and it was the gallbladder. It was to overthink it. It was depression. It was all these things. And it's like, oh, wow, that threw me off. I thought, I don't have to react this way if I don't want to. So I just was, but I could feel my whole body, and the congestion that was in my head, my chest just went bam, gone. Oh my God. And I could feel how my thoughts were creating my body to respond a certain way. So when you have Meniere's disease, and it's about affecting the organs of the balance, leading to violent dizziness, severe nausea, or intense vomiting. Now, with her, it could have gone there, but it's interesting because every time that I've had to experience her on such a deep level, my mind would feel this, and it would be like, here goes the spinning. And it was like, oh my God, I don't want to be here. And One of the things that came up was Confusion City. They are suffering from severe disorientation and feelings of being thrown off base. They have a strong sense of being at a risk of confusing and potential dangerous world. Now, if her little self believed that, then it's going to have the impending doom, running to the end of the timeline. It's going to make it confusing. If she's not sure who she's supposed to be because everybody wants her to be something else, it can be very confusing. And when you're not sure what you've just heard, because it could be scary, it can be confusing. It also says here that they don't have a clear sense of direction or of the nature of what is happening around them. They are sick and tired of all this, and they aren't willing to put up with the demands for more responsibility and accountability. They are the product of the magical misery tour, the chaotic, dysfunctional energies in which they expected to be the sane one in the family, but the sanity was not attainable. So, what do you think of that, Miss Ames?
It's very interesting, and it is a lot of what I've gone through, and it makes perfect sense to me.
And you said that you end up hearing someone today, and your ears started to go nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a part of you that knew that, oh my God, I'm feeling how my body is responding. And if I were to look at my thoughts, it is, yeah, I don't really want to hear this person. And so the volume of the intensity of sound just in the ears alone started to increase. Now, did that throw your head into a tailspin of dizziness, or did you? Oh, thank God.
No,
Okay, because I know that your ears, the volume part, has some form of connection. Maybe you end up peeling a big chunk of that out.
so
Because anytime you would hear, not whether a person, but a story, a plight, anything like that, you would just, oh my God, you were gone. And that's why I'm just curious of where you're at.
yeah, no, I honestly have not been dizzy for 2 days.
Excellent. What did we work on last? Sometimes it's hard to remember, but it's interesting.
Let's see. Uncertainty in life when I was younger.
So you must have really worked hard on that. Because when you were speaking to her or it, who, whatever, her, the point is that you didn't have to go to the uncertainty. Now, just think about the conversation. Was there any uncertainty on their behalf?
Yes.
You didn't fall for it. You didn't need to.
No, I said no. I choose not to live in the in. It was conversation of what's been going on in the world in the last, say, 72 hours.
Okay. And seeing the thing is that like with me, my governing meridian had kicked off and it was like, but what am I doing? And it's like, no, or I got caught up into that, but you had healed a particular part of the uncertainty. Okay. When I ask spirit, when you normally, would you have gone into a dizziness? Yes. When you go in your dizziness, which meridian is for you? For you, it's a kidney, because you become an it in every relationship to some degree. It's like they'll have the conversation, convince you that's what it is. And if you don't really agree with it, then they'll find a way to, and then the next thing you know, just, okay, what's funny is that like we get on in the morning and I've got full flat out, I don't even get a chance to really say hi to her until I can, just before I'm ready to get on. So I'm clicking everything else. And then I remember for a split second, because I was putting on my makeup, and the next thing I know, I look up and I felt like you were muted, but the thing is I felt you were in bitch mode, because I felt like you slapped me for a minute. I looked up and all I saw was you looking down. And that's why I'm assuming. And then you come in and you start asking me, did you see what Lily did? And I'm thinking, oh, you must have been yelling at the cat. So that must have been, when you had my attention to look up.
Yeah, it must have been. Because you were off camera. You had your camera off.
Right. And you normally have your camera off too. And that's why I wasn't expecting to see you. And I just happened to be, wait, what? I look up I'm like, oh, she must be having an issue with a cat or something.
The cat
And then went
decided
back to my business.
to bite my thumb. She almost put her tooth through my thumb.
Interesting. But notice how your body responds to everything. You said the other night, you were like, God, I'm so tired. I can't figure out why I'm so tired. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm Brenda. Oh, and then you reclaimed who you are, and then you're fine. Yeah, you just don't realize when you over-identify with something, you can become that to which you're observing. But then again, I can become my daughter, and I haven't observed her. I didn't even think about her today, and maybe she's thinking about me. Mm-hmm. And I remember they did a lot of tests way back when in the neuro. Let me get it right. Oh my God, I'm not going to get it right. Really, it's neuro something immunology. Immunology. There's neuro something immunology. But it has to do with how the immune system, it doesn't matter if you're in the same room, will respond. And one of the things was a person could be in another, no matter where they're at, they were recording the hairs on the back of their neck and everything to see if they'll stand up. Now, the person had no idea what was going on, but the person that was doing the test would have them on a monitor in another room. And so they would have somebody to look and stare at the monitor, and then they record. And then the person would nobody be there to look at them, and then they would have to record. And every time, almost right on cue, the person that's being monitored goes, I feel like I'm being watched, or I feel really strange. And then their hairs would stand up, and sure enough, it always coincided when they were being stared at on the monitor. And I thought, well, that's interesting, because the immune system doesn't care about time, space, or energy. It just knows that this is where it is in this format. Anyway, this is a good day.
That is interesting.
Oh. Huh?
That is interesting.
I'm looking. I don't know why I'm not able to see today. It says, really enjoy your show. Maybe we can sync. I can't read it. I seem to catch it when you come on live.
When you come live. We're in sync because I seem to catch it when you come live. That's
good. Thank you, Elizabeth. That's good. So remember to share and to get the message out. If you feel that somebody out there, you never know when you need to plant a seed, and we can help somebody to feel good or to move forward. I love it, Melinda. Yeah, I feel like this is my Ascension lifetime as well. And living the life review. This is that I think is just so. Yeah, I'm ready to learn more about that. They just said after the show, I'll probably end up learning more. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready. So again, anytime that you have paid for a reading, your name goes into the Hope Chest, and it's the one behind Amy's head with flowers. And your name goes in that. And then what do you get? What do you win?
You win a 15-minute reading on live with Brenda. Yeah. And when you get a reading with Brenda, you get meat and potatoes. I mean,
yeah, you get some veggies too.
The first time I had a reading with Brenda is over a year ago now. And it's like I know she doesn't get into your head because she just sees the mirror. But I'm like, damn, she knows me better than I know myself. And yes, she didn't know who the hell I was.
Yeah, and I do.
Now she knows me even better.
Yes, and then I can dig deeper. And it's not a scary thing. It's actually a good thing, because when you're in ego mindset, it's fearful. But when you're in your spirituality for growth, you're like, oh my God, please find the right one. That's it. Then you can start to feel this relieving aspect. So just so that you guys understand, it is the energy field. So there's energy cords that come off of you and then when these energies come off of you and go back to a certain point of your age, it has all the information right there. And so sometimes they'll be interlocked with other ones, that are made of gestalt moments. And so you have to look into it. So what are their soul willing to be working on? What is their theme? What is this going on? And all these other components come into play. So when I'm looking for a reading, it's like, okay, your shit's just hanging out there. And your soul says, well, lines it up and says this. So I could literally line you up and go for days if we wanted to. No, not on my part. I have a life. I have a life. So the point is that this is what's to address. And if you could address this emotion, it'll change and recalibrate everything that's going on inside of you. And so it's just your shit. It's all energy that's in front of you. And so I'm just reading your mirror. And so people think I've gotten inside their head. No. What you think is written into the chords. What you're doing is right there. These are the things your soul says that I delete, distort, and generalize. This is what I focus on, but really the issue is this, and I haven't looked at it. If you're an ego mindset, you're going to, bitch, please get out of my space. I don't want my wounds to be shown. It's embarrassing. It's humiliating. Okay, how about healing that first, and then you can go in and heal even further. So your personality creates your personal reality. And if you don't like your personal reality, then change your personality. And the only way to change your personality is to understand where you left your life force and why you put a mask on, why you store that pain, that trauma, that drama. Yeah, it's all complicated, but you just need a small little read, understand your life, begin to wake up and say, oh shit, I am doing that. I don't want to do that anymore. Take your investment off, get out of spiritual debt, and you can move forward in a happier, healthier way. I'm going to say her name wrong, but there's one of my Anise. Hello, dear. Okay. So if you have a paid, if you want to pay, there it is. The room number. Yes, good point. Where is that darn lucid number? That thing's it's a huge ass number. I normally
17, 2752.
Right. Well, it doesn't help me if I don't have my little sticker, which I have misplaced apparently. Which I'm not sure why, how, where, when, huh, what. So this Tuesday coming up in the tribal unit is the meditation. I'm not exactly sure. I just know it's going to start building on each other to help you heal your issues. And eventually when you begin to resolve certain things, then you can create your future. So they will all somehow help and build along the way, if that makes sense. That's what we're doing. We're going to tap into the innate healing. So what do you know? I have Jack squat. Who's Jack? I don't know. He's squatting. Why? That's his personal business. Yeah, I lost you. Oh, whatever.
Well, I'm getting the evil cat eye.
Well, put the evil cat eye out. Down. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't want to get scratched, so I'll let her get down when she wants to.
I was just hearing other people's thoughts. Okay, so let's see. So in the tribal, a lot of people have asked me about the tribal unit, and this is for $36, which is once a month. It's not a big deal because what you're getting is an investing in yourself. What you put into it is what you get out of it. And you do get 5 personal videos, in a group. But how is it personal for you? If you participate, like when we do the cards, you get a card. If it is you have questions, we'll do best to answer. It is learning to grow and to evolve and to heal. So we have learning healing tools. Then we have healing session day, meditation day. So you have these 5 things. But inside the group, you can ask questions, you can grow, you can share your experiences. It helps you get thought-provoking things, and it helps you grow. You can chat with the interns, but half of the interns, I don't know where they are. They're all have summer, so I'm assuming they're all trying to get out of that house one way or another.
That's my thought.
And so, anyways, it's not a requirement that they're there, but I'm there usually. Ooh, Tammy says I'm growing leaps and bounds from being in the tribal group. Excellent, thank you. It's very, very important that you do, that you can feel that, and that's important to me that it happens. My joke didn't go. Melinda got it. Okay, so well, what else is there? Drawing once a month. You have the tribal unit, because people say, well, why did you really create it? Well, people come to me and say, well, I can't afford it. Well, I can't give you, there's too many people that keep asking me for free stuff. And I like, okay, how can I help people? You know, I understand the economy. So you get a lot out of that group. And if you come to those group, you know, like the healing session one, you can, that's going to take you farther than you can ever imagine, because we'll be focusing on something that your soul wants. And that's one less thing you have to worry or focus on or to resolve out of, because you're doing it right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
Building confidence and empowering thyself when you learn healing tools and asking the questions. They're all good. It's a beautiful group of spirits and very empowering. Excellent. That's what we want. Excellent. Yes. So it is so worth it. Somebody likes your cat. The cat is how old?
Lily, this kitty here is 16. I think she was 16 in May. I'm not exactly sure when her birthday it really is.
And she controls her. So she's like, bitch, please. This is, you know,
Oh, yeah.
the hole.
Yeah. She's my owner, that's for sure.
That's the word. That's the nicest way of saying it.
And she's still pretty dirty. She got locked in the garage a week ago.
And we don't know how she got in there, but I mean,
Why she got in there?
how'd she get in there?
Oh, well, she goes outside normally, but the hubby shut the garage door without checking for the cat.
Oh, okay.
I always check to make sure because I know she likes to go in there when the door is open.
And she was black. I mean, soot? What'd she do? Run into a chimney? What's the deal? I mean, how'd she get so dang dirty?
There's just the normal dust and dirt on the floor.
This looked more like black soot from a chimney. It didn't look like no dust bunnies took a ride.
It's the black topsoil that blows into the garage.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, there you go.
He likes to roll in that soft dirt.
Ah, yeah, I had a white horse named Sugar that as soon as you gave it a bath, he was like, ha 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 ha.
Yep.
You're like, oh my God.
Just about.
Oh, well. Yeah, well, she liked the fact that you bathed her. I get petted at the same time. All right, enough about the cat. We're on about a show. Okay. What does your body talking to you about? So when somebody had asked me, so Tammy, we'll get to in just 1 second, but Tammy will be the first person. Let's see, when did she pay? Because I screwed up the time. Yeah. Okay. So yes, you will get it for that price because I screwed up, Tammy. And yes, that's what you get. So give me a moment, Tammy, and we'll get into that. I want to talk about something real quick. So Michelle, yes, you said that, you know, there will be some type of exchange. Yes, that's good. If they, well, we'll get more into that. But they said before I go into any of the other stuff, we're going to see if I can look up a piece of information that's important, probably for everybody that would want to benefit from this, because I could keep it quiet, but this is kind of important, I think. Let's see if I can find it.
I thought that was, yeah, that's why I.
Okay. Well, anyways, Kaoma. What is the body saying? A metaphysical meaning. Let me out of here! They're engaged in fearful escaping from something or someone. They're checking out rather than facing the music. Now, this is on a soul perspective. Don't be taking this answer and trying to apply it on an ego-based land, because you're just not going to get there. But if you can kind of just listen, there's a profound sense of endangerment in a hostile environment. When a person defines their own environment, meaning if they see it as hostile while outsiders don't, they have every right to, because it's whatever their soul's going through. They don't want to stay, but they're afraid to die. They can only be, they could also be being kept here by the fears of their intimates about losing them. So like, for instance, if the soul's done and they're ready to go, but actually there's that teetering of whether I should die or not, the act of, so if Amy was, anything happened to Amy, now I'm crying, now this and that, all of a sudden what will happen is that I could actually influence by my fears of losing her, that can cause that soul to stay. So there's always about that choice. Coma, their sense of lack of safety got started in their family, which can convey to them that the world is not a safe place for them. When I got born into this world, the unsafeness wasn't about the family as much as it was about the environment. The environment was that it was during the Detroit riots. And so the energy was spreading everywhere. And it was in the hospital where I was being born. That energy influenced me to be very fearful and timid of people in my family, especially the emotion aggression. And aggression would influence me and put the fear in me, which then changed my personality. Not blaming, just that's what my soul wanted to learn, and that's the environment it chose. So I had to heal out the energy of the day I was born. So that's why sometimes I will ask people, when were you born, so that I could feel like if I can find any connection. Now, those are harder because you got to look at really what was going in the world event, where they were living. Okay. So just think about this, about what is coma. And if you know somebody that has that coma, do they feel like they live in a hostile environment? Do they, and because the question is, how do you help somebody? And we'll get to that more. Just thought I needed to do that before I forgot. Now, Miss Tammy, yay, look at, she's right here. She's got it. Yay. And where is show? No? Oh, there it is. It's connecting now. I was like trying to figure where it went. Okay, so we'll wait a second. The audio's still trying to get in, but I can find my clicker. There. Yeah. Oh, almost. Yes, almost. Yeah, almost. Got to get you to unmute.
There, I'm unmuted. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Yay. Oh, you're wearing blue, and I've got sort of. Mine's more of a teal.
We're blue and blue, yeah. Different shades, but yeah, still kind of different.
I need that. I want more of that royal blue. That'd be awesome. So you are walking?
I'm going to go walking after this. So I put the headset on, put you through my Bluetooth, drove, got my coffee and stuff.
Well, I will tell you, with my Fitbit, I've had it for quite a few years now, but I accidentally opened up my wrong account. So I clicked on a Tammy. I don't know if it was you.
That was me, Tammy Ann, because see your old account. Yep, I added you.
And Dad is like, well, that doesn't help because I don't go to that one. And so then I got onto the other one, and lo and behold, I found you there too. And I thought, okay. So then I think we're linked up now. But
yeah, I got to check that, but yeah.
Yeah. But so, I haven't, things have changed. And the fun thing about the Fitbit is it can really be encouraging. But then when life changes after so many years, it's amazing when you pay attention, whether you're like, yeah, can it influence me today? Can it not? I don't know. But yeah, if I look and you might just persuade me, especially if you're going to do 14K walk. And it's like, God damn.
I haven't done that for a couple weeks, but I'm learning how to run right now.
Oh,
That's my little secret. I'm telling the show, but like my mom, my sister, and the guy that I kind of hope to date is the only 3 people that know.
and the thing about it is, does it influence or doesn't it influence? Because somebody says if you tell somebody your secret, it depends on which way you're going. But at the same time,
The reason why I told him is because I send him when I do my intermittent running app. So it kind of holds me accountable. So hopefully I'll finish the whole 9 weeks.
That's it. Be accountable. The intermittent running. Okay, before we go into this, now I've studied a lot of this, and what I found out the best way for me is to run 1 minute really hard. I think it's after I can't remember now how many minutes.
And then walk a couple minutes and then run.
Yes.
That's the app. That's the app. I'm doing a Couch to 5K app, and I do it 3 times a week, and it tells me jog. Walk.
Is it a free app? Oh,
yes,
please send me the link or picture or whatever.
I will. Yeah.
Because I've had to, the hard part is like, okay, hold on. Like, okay, now it is. Click. And then you wait for it.
Yeah.
Beep,
and if you have music on your phone, you can like save through your phone through Apple or whatever. It will play through the app as well in the times between it. Telling you.
That idea. Maybe I will get into it.
Because that's the only way I can do it.
Well, I found out another way, but I'm like, gosh, that's too hard. Then, so of course, it's too hard. It's too high maintenance. I'm out of here.
Yep, same.
Okay, how can I help you, darling?
I'm just kind of wanting to do a check-in and maybe a check-in with the guy that I'm talking to see what's up with that.
You got it. So as we're looking at this, all right, so the first thing they say is that you're drawing into yourself. So I'm drawing into you. You're drawing into yourself disapproval. And is this RTJP? No, drawing into disapproval. What are you talking about? Fear of? The energy of disapproval. Is this on a collective whole, individual? No, we have to find out what this means. To be something. Oh, they're saying, notice how a part of you had developed a program that you'll become something because there's an influence. And so as you still holding who you are and you're still learning who you are, that you have that little bit of, you know what I mean? It pulls you in to become something that you're not.
This sort of kind of goes with me healing out the people pleasing.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. Sort of. Yeah. It's okay. But it's further. It is what you did for yourself to get there.
Yeah.
Now, if we look at towards the self, so at one point you were forlorn, which is pitifully sad. And yes, what age? So your 3-year-old self. So your 3-year-old self will activate this. My whole body's all of a sudden, I got indigestion, gas, and all this. Like, okay, so your 3-year-old self said what? I'm not compatible, and you feel split, and you're mortified. So shame. So at one point, here you are. You can't be compatible with that because there's shame coming at you, around you, everywhere. It's just the way they talk. It's the negative mental attitude. And you're like, but it always made you have to feel sad. It had to put you into a sad state. Feel sorry for me. So did you grow up with people that was like, oh, feel sorry for me attitudes?
Yes, very sorry for me in some ways. And then also with my mom making me be involved with the Christian church, very involved when I was little, and having to go to Christian school.
My head hurts from this.
It all like when I was really little, and that's what a lot of that is from.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of that is forlorn, like, ugh.
Yes, it's really, because the frontal lobe is about creating the future, And it's interesting because it's like it hurts. It doesn't right now, but it just stopped hurting. So it is that it hurts. And so every time you became very self-conscious of what you were doing because you were judged all the time.
Yep. And I was the child from because that was around when my parents started getting divorced, and the church, all the stuff at the church, and it was nasty.
Yes, and so it interrupted your creating your future, creating your reality, just an everyday reality. You felt this overpowering energy, and then what you did toward yourself was change the energy. And then you started to bully yourself, thinking that's the only way I can survive this. So when you get done and rewatch this, make sure you get her timestamp. It has to do with going back to what I just said, feeling. And there's a certain amount of experiences. There's like, if you were to take a film and notice that this time frame, each of those still shots, ask spirit, just say, okay, let's take what Brenda said and break it down. You're literally going to be able to see how you bullied yourself. You're literally going to see why you started to bully yourself if you were to just allow those little increments of that. And when you do, feel how fresh that experience is. Put it on a scale from 0 to 10. Now, we don't want you to conjure up. Just kind of say thank you, spirit, and you'll wait for the memory to start to appear to some degree. And if you can't find it within here, what's going to happen is you're going to interact like me and you're interacting. It'll be out on this playing field. And when it pops up, thank you, spirit, for helping her become aware and go, oh, there it is. Okay, now the next steps are crucial because then you're going to find out whether you're portraying yourself, denying yourself, martyrism, pleasing, whatever reaction, that is the thing that you have to start doing, because when you start doing that, that's the mask you had to put on. Okay, that is what they want you to understand, is that you become something, and you have to start understanding what that something is. It's actually, there's actually like 5 different ways that you, depending on the type of person that's in front of you. So don't just choose to stop going overwhelmed. Just say, thank you, spirit, for showing me each one I need to heal. Okay. And when it starts to show up, it'll show up like a sore thumb. And I know you are quite advanced than some when it comes to be able to be the observing factor on a synchronistic field, which means that oh, there it is. You're going to be able to stand back in your spirit, looking through your ego self of, but you're fully aware that there's wisdom right there. You just can't get to it right away. Okay. And then sometimes you can't help yourself. You go right into ego, but you still retain with your spirit mind that this is what needs to be changed. I know you can obviously see it. It's like, we want to get you to the point where you're at the wisdom and you can release it. So just start to notice it. Take little notes, because you will then help yourself do this. Okay. You're like, oh, okay. Do you understand?
Yeah, I'll help change this programming and not fall into because I fall into that people pleasing, and I fall into that not feeling good enough and not feeling worthy enough for this type of man or this type of relationship or situation. Exactly, and that's what I've been feeling a little bit lately. Like I'm maybe not good enough. I feel like I have to prove myself.
Ooh, yes. There you go. I'm getting this.
Not feeling worthy.
Now notice what created that. And that's what you're going to do, is you're going to start noticing, there it is. And that is where, if you start to heal that little piece, then the rest will start to fall. And then you go to heal that, it will fall even more. Of course, you use all the tools you possibly can, because without tools, you're just going to make it stay there. We want you to move out of it. Now, that is what's interrupting having this relationship.
Yes, because I second doubt it, and I pick up on him, even if it's the slightest change in his energy, then I take it like I'm not worthy enough. He doesn't want, and I'm taking it too far.
And your soul said that I'm not doing this again, which was whatever it is that you were doing before. You're like, I'm stopping it right now. I'm going to heal this shit, and I'm going to get better. And so you're fully aware. From what I can see, you're fully aware. Yeah, I want this relationship, but I can't have this relationship until I'm done with this, because it's like
Exactly, because he's the type of person that he's very spiritual and into energy and frequencies too. And he's one of those people that I don't need to fix him. The first one.
Yeah.
Supposedly, I don't need to fix him anyways.
Yeah. And then, yes. And so when you start to change and heal this, then you should be able to change to in that alignment, because you're in sync, and then you go right out of sync. Changing the program, I feel like you could draw him closer to you. I know the thing rang, but I have to just don't leave me. That's what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Let me check something here. And now, when she addresses and heals this, what is she going to be? She's going to be, the next thing you would have to worry about is having a past life relationship. Somebody you've known before. Is this that man? No. So you may end up finding somebody else that you'll draw into your space. Don't be surprised, because you're going to have to address another issue that comes up of how you lost your passion before you connect with this guy. So you're going to get all the bumps out of the way, it looks like.
Yeah, and that's why Spirit's keeping it that him and I have talked for 9 months on Snapchat and WhatsApp. That's it.
Okay, get this shit done.
and he lived 40 minutes away from me.
Oh, that's taking it slow. I mean, at least you didn't have 10,000 miles
We're
apart.
crawling.
And years later, we crawled, yeah. But, if you keep the sex out of it, it's an amazing thing, because my husband says, what's funny is when you keep the sex out of it, you can bond. And that's what we did. We bonded on such a deep level. We hadn't even realized that we were building that.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to build. But sometimes I feel I'm backing away and less communication. Then I'm like, okay, what's up?
Well, I will tell you, if he is not resolved something, it could be it's not Gary Craig. Who's the other guy? Something Craig Gray. Okay, doesn't matter. It's the rubber band effect. It's like men are from Mars and women from Venus.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember that guy's name, but there's something about a rubber band effect. Now, I feel like there's something he needs to heal a little bit there. But again, he has to have that in play, because you made a promise to yourself.
Yep, that I won't go for any fixer-uppers anymore.
Yeah. So again, people have to show up a certain way we want them. But no, this is a good thing for you, though.
Okay, yeah, that's what I just worry about, because it's like, am I getting back myself into this like la 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 land, or am I really feeling the connection energetically that I'm feeling?
I'll tell you one thing. Anybody that does a transformation, they need a focal point. The focal point is, as long as they don't get lost in the focal point, then they'll have the transformation. So you're doing good. Okay. Just understand that is that he's your focal point. And if it changes out, it changes out. If it doesn't, it gets stronger. That's great.
Basically, I use him for inspiration and motivation and the type of man I'd like to have.
Exactly.
And he has a good life, and he owns blueberry farms and all kinds of cool stuff. It's a good life.
Yeah. See, and the thing is, there's nothing wrong with looking at something that you know that you want to strive for, because that is part of that catalog of life. Oh, that's a good option. I see you circled it big time. That wish.
Exactly. That's why at the beginning of their show tonight, I was like, this is for me.
It's always a pleasure talking to you, and I'm so happy to have you in the group.
Send you lots of love and appreciation. Thank you very
much. Bye.
Bye.
That's always good. I like that. A lot we can learn from each other. A lot. Okay, so if you have 21 minutes, great. And if you want to come on the show, it's this. And I feel like, somebody said something. I heard something in there. What message is Vertigo telling me? Oh, very good. Vertigo. Give me a second to look that up. That'll be like a 1 minute read, because here we go. Vertigo. Got to first be able to spell it, people. Oh, so close. Okay, ready? You listening? Who was it? Julie. Vertigo. The message from the body is saying, new cup. They're finding that the process and the resources they have been relying upon for quite a while now are suddenly unavailable or unworkable. They are being required to come up with new approaches to things. Or, remember, if you take one, none, or all apply. Flying off the handle flying off in all directions at once. They are being inundated with mental confusion and flighty, scattery thinking due to outside pressures. They are refusing to look at things directly and squarely in the eye. They feel threatened by life's demands and realities. It feels very unsafe to them, and that is impossible for them to have any joy in life. Now they are faced with the high intensity or the high stakes decisions, commitments, undertaking, or experiences. They feel overwhelmed. It is a pattern that got started in the denial dominating dysfunctional family in which they are required to function in the face of chaos and refusal to deal with the reality. And that is vertigo. Now, there's a personal aspect for each person. What you can take away from this is that, oh my God, that's me, or there's none, that's not me, or some of it is. That's why I say take one, none, or all. And the importance of hearing this is that you will see the emotions that cause you to stay stuck. And when you have these emotions that cause you to stay stuck, you can't grow from that. And it's like, oh God, that's me. Now you're understanding how you're knowing it. And you can use, listen to my voice, you can use healing tools that actually can disrupt that strategy, that pattern, those emotions, and resolve those out so that you can actually get past your arrested development and be able to see more clearly. Okay, when it comes to the pain, what is it trying to say? So if I were to look at, let me see if I can find, where am I? Somebody wrote, and I'm hoping I can find the information fast enough. When it comes to the word wrist, let me find it. This person wrote, what message my painful left wrist is giving me? Okay, Sonia. Wrist in itself. Now again, one, none, or all can apply because there's quite a few here. One, self-impending. They have difficulty in articulating and carrying out their intentions, and they are concerned about their ability to move through life with ease and skill. They're very competence anxious and lacking in confidence. As a result, they are quite uptight and rather ungraceful in their execution of things. It arises from you can do no right message that they're getting from a form of rejection or demanding from people. Or desire deflection. Ooh, my head just spun. There's something that they should do. Wow, my head is spinning. Who's this? There's something that they should be doing or that they want to be doing, but they aren't doing it. They are holding themselves back from the final expression of what they wish to do. They feel that it's somehow bad, wrong, or evil for them to be doing what they want. It arises from the history that they have been being held accountable for all that went wrong in other people's lives. And so they became the family's hoist, put in that position and expecting them to make everything all better. Or a servaholic. They have an inner conflict between their felt responsibility and their need to be of service on one hand, and their need for self-containment, for enlightenment, for self-interest on the other. And then there's rejection paranoia. They are not carrying on with what other people think of me is none of your business attitude. Instead, they're highly hypersensitive to criticism, and they crave recognition, appreciation, responsibility. But we're going to just dive a little bit deeper. Left wrist. Is that correct? Left wrist. Mm-hmm. Me or them. They are in conflict about the integration of personal need meeting with their responsibilities, and also about the nature of their personal priorities, values, needs, and desires, particularly as they relate to the public responsibility. In addition, they are rather intensely self-inhibiting. Okay. So there's all kinds of different little things here. And again, for a personal one about what's personally for you, then you can, dive in. Now, somebody is polarity is not working.
Is it me?
Do you feel dizzy?
I was.
Yeah. Oh, Bobby says, today I felt dizzy all day. Could be Bobby too. Wow. Yeah, it could be Bobby. Oh, whew. So we talked about, somebody says pain. That's right, pain in the belly button. Let me look at pain real quick, see if we can just find pain, karma beliefs. They are engaged in a guilt-based self-punishment and atonement seeking. They have a deep feeling of separation and sinfulness arising from massive guilt induction from their family for who they are, what they need, what they did, and what went down in the family. Or trying to slip one past the cosmos. It is God or nature's way of warning them that they are off their path and something is out of balance. It involves conflict and congestion as they work out an undesirable condition. Or victim tripping. They have been a belief in bondage and victimization, and as a result in there being a relationship that hurts and destructive and is exploitive. It is a pattern that was generated when they were little. Repressed rage. They are sitting on a lot of resentment, rage that they are afraid to express or act on. Their life not working, and they are highly frustrated with that. Now, there's all different forms: aching pain, burning pain, dull pain, intermittent pain, sharp pain, stabbing pain, stinging pain, throbbing pain, pain in particular places. Now, I'm looking. Yeah, I see that one for people. Pain in the muscles. Ooh, pain in the joints. Ooh. I'd like to see pain in the belly button, but no, they don't have that. That's a huge one for people too. Oh, you know what? I'm going to talk about this one real quick. Pain tolerance. If you have a low pain tolerance, they are into, I knew that, going to die, emotional commotion reactions. 90% of the experience of pain is psychological, and that is the activation of the midbrain or the emotional center that creates most of the sensation, creating a visceral effect. The physical base of the pain is primarily in the skin, not in a deeper organ, and several inner organs are insensitive to pain. Pain is your warning system that something harmful is happening. So now you need to look at your belief systems. And please do not fall for, oh, it's just on your head. There must be something psychologically wrong with me. No, that was how people controlled shaming in such a way. But our body, there's a body-mind connection. Then it's a natural process. And when you have these little things, people have put such a bad spin on something so they can give you a pill. You are an amazing beings, and if you can begin to understand how you create your inner world and how you use the outer world, you can really change who you are. You for the better. You really can. I don't know how else to explain it, but you are an emotional being, and you don't have to have drugs to be able to. I mean, it depends on to the scale. If you're in a chronic position, maybe. But until you can get a handle of it, but there is an answer. There really is an answer. Now I'm looking to see if I have anything, belly button problems. Cut off from the universe. They feel something rejected by God, somehow rejected by God. They assume that they are getting their cosmic just desserts. And this conclusion is carried into life as a foundational assumption out of which they operate. It got started in a reaction to a less ambivalent, if not hostile, womb experience. Or potency issues. They feel prevented from assessing, or they are afraid to assess their personal power, community clout, initiative, impact making capabilities as a result of being reacted to as threatened or as evil as they, when they did as a child. Okay. It's just above belly button, and I've been told it is a hernia, but I don't believe that. Energy is energy, okay? So if the doctors have come up with a conclusion to some degree, great, but it depends on whether it is acute or chronic. Now, if it's just above, understand we have different energies. Now, this would have to be, what do you call it? A paid or 1 minute, but we have things that throw off. And if I just like, for instance, this pain has a lot to do with your stomach meridian and your liver meridian. So you have two energies that are coming in and are affecting this particular part of your belly. Okay. That is what you're doing. So I'm going to just double check real quick to make sure. Oops. Let's shrinky dink all these things so I can actually see. All right, Brenda, what are you doing? I have no freaking idea. Okay, yes, I do. All right. Since there's no pay, and there is not a lot of pays. Now I'm going to read this email real quick. Okay, so I'll have to read a little bit more. We'll have. Okay, so I'm getting just energies all over the place. All right, Amy, so we're going to take a 1 minute, and what we're going to do is you're going to, as I read this message real quick. Oh, wait, somebody just sent money.
That was our mutual friend.
Michelle. Okay.
And it's for
that, to which I was. Okay, you can do that. Okay, so wait, am I doing this as a discretionary thing? Is I doing this? Is she coming on? What are we doing? How are we doing it? I don't want to just assume.
Michelle, are you going to come on, or are we going to do it?
I'm going to take care of this for Danny real quick. You know, so yeah, so you guys work that out real quick. Danny, so as far as you sent this to me, is it supposed to be quiet or?
No, it was just so much to
process. So what you're going to do is I want you to grab the chakra cards and I want you to pull one for those that are here at the group. So in a collective aspect, Spirits is going to give you a card so that they can hear it. And it's related to everybody. And then I'm going to read this real quick.
Trickery.
Oh, wait. Do I have you on screen? Ha ha. No. Let's try it again. There you go. That would help.
Trickery.
Trickery. That's a cute little dragon.
He is a cute little bugger. I thought he's a dragon. And it is a heart chakra card. Kelly, the green dragon, the tempter, is as guilty as the thief. During trying times, things may be easier if you ask for help. Don't be disappointed if assistance does not come from the place you expect. Personal inquiry. Am I afraid to tell the truth? How does the fear make me manipulate others? What do I really need to say? Keywords. Vulnerable heart, self-honesty, assuring others, and hidden motivations. Keywords: vision, honesty, and greed.
So notice whether or not you are tricking yourself with your thoughts, you're towards and away from. What you with another person, are they intention is for their benefit or for others? So really neither one is being authentic to themselves to in that particular relationship. So now did you find out, I'm gonna answer this for Danny. She's coming on.
Not Dan. Michelle will. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well that's happening. I'm going to do this answering for Danny real quick. Okay.
Give me permissions. No, can't take me off. I'll take me off.
No, there you go. You're made co-host, and so here we go. While we waiting for Michelle. All right, Danny. I need you. We are going to work on source points and the energetic pattern of why this is all happening is because the overbearing energy do you feel like there's a lull, that everything kind of got quiet to some degree? Because it looks like a dump. It looks like a emotional peptide dump. And at the same time, your body is like gearing up for the next wave that's coming. So they're saying we're going to do some source point healing. The first you're going to do is KI3. Hey, Amy, could you write this down just in case Danny, because she's got spotty internet?
Okay.
So you're going to do KI3, PC7, LU9, and then we got to focus on the fact that her polarity is out. And because the polarity is out, she's going to think balancing the polarity, and then she's going to go. She's going to, on the left side first, she'll have to do ST42, LI4. And then on the right, she's going to do SI4 and PC7. And then you're going to do a couple rounds of that. So what you rubbed, you start again. And then that should correct it. To help clean out the dump, you'll have to hold L1D to hold that L1D, because it's feeling how you're coping. You're learning how to cope differently. Okay, Danny? That's what you're doing. Hello, Michelle. So, okay, so unmute your thing. We're all ready. And, not done yet. There it is. Nope. Okay, push it again. I don't understand what's happening. Now talk.
Hey. Can you hear me?
We got it. Excellent. So I should have asked permission. So it's okay to have you on camera or not?
Yeah, totally fine. I'm here.
Okay.
Here I am.
Awesome. Okay, so the situation is that someone is in a coma. Yes?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
And
he's
the family. Go ahead.
He's probably been in a coma for about 2 weeks, or maybe even possibly a bit more. Now, his father has come to see me various times for readings, and he wants to know if his son will come out of this coma. And I struggle to give him the answers. I find it it's a really difficult thing to tell somebody.
Well, it is hard because number one, you want to tell them something good, but you also know that if you're going to tell them something, they're an ego and about something that's so delicate about the soul, or I should say what the soul wants, it's delicate for the human to understand, it could be devastating. At the same time, you don't want to give them just words so that they make them feel better. So there's all of these different things. So the thing is that I'm calling upon the person that's in the coma because I know that so we're learning that right now they're telling me that I can ask the angels or we can ask the spirits, because there's a state of contemplation that this person that's in the coma. And it's interesting enough because they're showing me that he's working. Okay, now this is something that people don't quite understand, but he actually has work to do. And so he's taken this opportunity, and he's kind of living in this one space. And I don't think he's aware of the length of time he's been away.
Right.
Okay. So they're showing me that he's off, he's busy, he's doing his things. And so I'm going to ask Spirit, is there anything we can do to help? And he says, well, towards himself, one of the things that's happening is that he feels this impending doom. What?
I'm sorry, he was just trying to call me, the father, right now.
What do you want to do? You want to talk to him?
Oops, no, that's fine. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Isn't
No,
it
that's
funny?
a good
He's
clue. That's a good
trying
clue.
to call me right now.
Cool.
Sorry,
All
Robert.
right. No, because see, that's all clues.
Yeah.
That's all clues. So there's an impending doom that I'm seeing and a panic. Now I'm going to ask, well, from the father, because there's an energetic around it. Now, we need to get past that, or do we need to continue to look at that? It's okay. So we have to continue to look at the environment, the space of the environment. And so is this person that's in a coma, is he feeling the fears? Yeah. So towards himself, one of the things that's happening, he doesn't feel confident. Okay, so now, okay, what do we do? So the person that's scared, he can feel his confidence or lack of confidence. He has his lack of confidence. So there's not a lot of encouraging in the space. But does that influence the solo not wanting to come in? No. Right now, we're just establishing the energy that's there. And when I'm looking, they're saying that there's a heartache. Yes, the father. And how about the person? Is it a boy or girl in the coma?
It's a male. It's
male.
His son.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So as I'm looking, again, if I could get this, if we could you get him to turn around so I can talk to him? Okay, that's fine. What do you want me to do? Just keep looking at the cords. So his back's towards me. So that means I've got to look at the cords. So I'm going to look at the cords, and it has to do with the instability of the energy. So there's a lot of hysterical energy, and he doesn't want to come home to this hysterical. Wow. What's going on here? The bladder. Is this the bladder? Okay, you're pointing to my bladder point. So it's about the will, his will. So it's whose will? Okay, the father's will. God, there's a lot of freaking energy. So he's like avoiding. What is going on? It's avoiding. So again, the son is avoiding something. So something took place just prior. So can you tell me how he got to the coma? Do you know how he got into it?
He had brain surgery.
Yes. Okay, brain surgery. What happened to the brain? Why was the brain that way?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
I believe he had a mass in his brain, and he had that operated. And then once he had the operation, he has not woken up yet.
Okay, so so you're talking about some form of a tumor, some form of growth, yes?
Yes.
Okay. When this happens, usually, just ignore that. There's like, did they classify it as like a tumor or a growth? Do you remember what they said?
I don't know.
Okay. So let me look at this real quick. So there's something about him not wanting to be here. So we have to get in a little bit deeper. The reason why I'm asking is because there's a part of that child that whatever went down just prior to, and then I ask him, could they surge? And they go, no, let's go back a little bit further. And so as they were going back to that particular point, like for instance, if I'm going to look at this, because they don't. Let's go at that because so is this was going on in the brain, but any of these reasons, he's okay. This child feels like he's failed his father, and I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about before. There is this.
I
feel this-
understand. Yes, I know
Oh,
the
you do.
situation. Yes, I do.
Okay, this is one of the things, that pressure, that particular thing
Yep.
that is causing it in the first place. So because of that conflict within the body and because of that, the child doesn't want to come back. I don't know, that's not something someone wants to hear.
You're so on point. Apparently, the father gave him a business, okay, and handed this business to him, and it all went down the tubes, and he went into big debt.
Yeah, he doesn't want to come back because of that. So if the father doesn't give a rat's ass about any of that, he needs to convey this. Do you understand? And the father is okay. He has going to have to convey. It has to say, I forgive me. I didn't mean to put you in this pressure. The business is not important. He needs to come from the heart. He needs to really come to the heart and talk to him and let him know all is forgiven. Come back. It's not this. But I also, as soon as I do that, he turned around. Now, see, he turned around. I just asked, why did you turn around to talk to me now? And then he says, because because of the pattern of the past. And what I'm hearing is, okay, I do something, bad stuff. It is like, I'm sorry, but the actions speak louder than the words. Does this make sense? So there's a particular pattern. It's not that he won't come back. It is, there's a lot of great fear of, oh my God, I fucked up.
Right.
Okay. And because you understand that pressure, there's this part of the pressure that the boy that's in the coma at 3 years old, he keeps going back to that particular energy where he feels that the expectations are too big for him. And so he becomes emotionally unstable. And he's like, I know I'm going to fuck up. So it's like he's hitting his arrested development. So at 3 years old, it's like he couldn't do it right. And there's a part of him that feels bad for not doing it right, which I think then he's picking up from the environment when he was growing up. Okay. So there's, it's nobody to blame. It's just that this child needs to learn to let go of being afraid of overbearing erratic energies, whether it's hysterical or whether it is, somebody's going to punish you because you did bad. It is the definition that this child's holding. Okay. And if I'm asking, he's looking right at me now. Okay. Just point to it. He's petrified. He says, my thinking is based on, I have to overcompensate. And he says, and that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure.
You keep lagging out. The energy.
Now,
energy.
is it getting...
I haven't been able to understand you for a few minutes. It's just, you keep coming in and out. So that must have strongly to do with the energy of what's going on with his communication.
So everybody in the room, is this happening to Michelle or is this happening to the whole show?
It's happening to Michelle.
It's happening just to Michelle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is getting recorded clearly for you so that you can hear this later. Okay.
Good. Yeah.
So we're just going to ask, can you? Okay. So we're just going to ask for a little bit of a balance of the energy, and it is noticing that the energy of this coming in and out is an example for you of what he's been trying to speak to you. Okay. But it's hard to make a connection. It's hard to hear clearly. It's hard to get, and that's what he's trying to tell you. He doesn't know how to communicate with his father that way.
I understand.
What?
Yeah.
He says he has great awkwardness. He's pointing to my page at certain things here. And he says, and I just feel like sometimes Now, this is his own personal, I know his father's going to say that's not at all true, but that's what needs to be communicated.
Right.
He says his efforts feel like they were always unreceived and he could never do right. Does that make sense? And he's literally
Probably.
showing me this is his pattern. He says, I don't know how to grow past that.
Right.
I need him to show up as an asshole. So now he's showing me on a spiritual sense. Now he's looking at his own book now. He says, and he's starting to see, yeah, I need him. He's pointing to his father that he needed him to be the asshole because he had a great lesson in life to learn. And so I'm asking, he's pointing, have you, just our conversation is that just because of our conversation, he says he feels a little bit more clarity because he doesn't feel so far away. He's actually walking towards me now. So does this mean you want to get back in your body? He says, I've contracted my energy out so low. This? Okay, so if you could ever be...
I can't even hear you.
I know, but thank goodness this is recorded. He needs to back away from you. But
my head feels a bit lightheaded.
He's right next to you.
He's really trying to communicate with me.
Yeah. But I'm just going to say this. If you wanted to help pull him out, you can help create his energies, fix it, because you can rub points. You can actually learn how to rub points, okay, to help the body to repair itself so he can come back because the energy is not moving properly, okay? It's stunted. So if we could learn how to do this, it could actually help to pull him to come back. So that'll be our next step.
So you're saying, yes, I would love to do that. And I would also love Robert to get in touch with you as well, because I know you can really greatly, really help him with this.
Okay. So you guys got to decide how you want to do this. You know how to make appointments. You know how to communicate with me. But just remember, this was recorded so that you can go back and heal it or listen to it. So Ames, as long as you got a timestamp for her, okay?
127, Michelle.
Okay.
127, okay.
All right. So, but yeah, you have him and grandma, his grandma.
I know.
Oh, okay, good.
I know that his grandmother's with him. I've told Robert that she's right by his side with him.
Right, and that's what's confusing the energy as we're trying to communicate, me and you. Right. It's blocking it.
It's interfering. Yep.
Yeah, but that's what's happening there.
Okay, so where do I go from here?
Well, the best thing to do is rewatch this once it gets up. Okay, rewatch it. And then you will want to communicate and say, we want to, okay, I will. He keeps telling me that if you start to rub his points, his physical body will start to have the energy start to move.
So if I rub my points, it's like me rubbing.
You can do that. You can do it surrogately or
have
because I don't know
points when he goes to see him.
Yes, if his dad can go see him, he could learn how to rub the points on him. Okay, if they allow it. I don't know if they would allow it. But the point is that he's made a decision that he won't tell me about, except for the fact he's way closer to me now, which means he's ready for something. And she completely froze. Okay.
They're really interfering. They're really interfering right now.
I know. Yeah. Okay.
So, but while I have him here, while he's here, wow. Oh gosh.
Okay, so we'll have to wait for another clear. We're going to have to figure out a different type of session so that we can, if you wanted to do surrogate healing, you could. No? He wants his father to prove. That's the wrong word. He wants his father to be involved of really showing him he wants him to come back. You can do the healing on that etheric level.
Okay.
But this is a bonding moment so that the father and him can actually
Okay.
evolve, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yes. All right.
So
Okay.
that's what he's doing. He's doing the same thing you are. Yes. So
God
you may
love
have
him.
to help the father first by telling him, like, for instance, if we make an appointment, you may have to tell him where to rub on himself
Okay.
to balance the father. And then the
Brenda,
father can
can
to him.
Brenda, can we organize that you have a session with Robert?
Yeah. If Robert's open, sure.
Yeah, okay, because he gave me permission to do this with you today. He just gave me
Oh,
permission about 20 minutes ago. He said yes to me. So
okay.
if he's open, he's open to this, and he said yes, he'll definitely be open to chatting with you. So I'll talk to you later, and
Okay.
then that would be the best way if he hears straight from you, with you giving him the guidance and showing him what to do.
Right. So rewatch this, and if you feel like you want to share it with him, or however, or need to explain
Okay.
something, because sometimes,
Yeah.
depending on where he's at and his mindset. But anyway, thank you very
Okay.
much for caring about these people. I really appreciate
Thank
you for
you.
that.
Such a blessing, Brenda. Such a blessing. Wow,
Thanks.
I can really feel his energy.
Yeah, you've got 3 people now behind the 2 people.
Oh,
So you've got a whole
yeah.
bunch of people standing behind your head right now.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah,
you better get
so
aligned.
I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna be talking to him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
All right. Bye-bye, honey.
want to help them. Thank you so much.
All right.
Much
Bye-bye.
love. Day bless.
Oh, that was interesting.
That was
Okay.
very interesting.
So, they're off doing their thing. Ha! No, it didn't hurt. It's just my body's making an expression. He waved goodbye, he turned, and as he left, the energy just, yeah, that's, oh, I'm back now.
Are you sure?
Okay. I'm sorry, what?
I said, are you sure that
Yeah.
you
As a here. I don't know if I'm back. Am I somebody else? I just feel like it was in the movie Color Purple for 2 seconds. What the heck was that about?
I love that movie.
Oh, that was a great movie. Yes. Gashima, how are you? Okay. Reestablishing.
In the corner.
What? Put baby in the corner again?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I gotta figure out why my 1 minute. There, it works. Okay. 1 minute readers. And baby wants to go in the corner. Fine. Your timeout. Okay. We are all good. Wish my husband was around. I'm freezing. No, just kidding. I need a cup of coffee. Hot water, honey. Is my honey around? Probably not. No, he's probably out back.
And he doesn't have his phone, so it doesn't pay to text him, but I can.
You can. You could be near the computer.
I will text him, and while I text him, TP.
Oh, honey, if you're out there, coffee. See, I'll be glad when my coffee warmer gets here.
Oh, I saw today, the 11th.
The 11th?
The 11th is supposedly when it will be there.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That is so nice. Yeah. Apparently, I'm pulling off a good Australian accent every now and then. That's just so nice. Painting, Mr. Hand. Oh, where's the mysterious hand? Oh, mysterious hand, where are you? Yeah, he's probably outside. Yeah, we're fixing our oasis of our pool and the surroundings of it. And he's a great landscaper. That's one thing I like about it. Okay, now here's our 1 minute readers. Ready? Who's next?
TP.
And find out if Tilly got the
I got your email.
Good. TP. Okay, so you're being very stubborn. Your mom said, stop thinking you're unworthy. The end. She says there's a lot of grief. Yes, yes, yes. Uh, you got to balance the karma, and um, uh, she's pointing at your 2-year-old self, and you've gone into self-pity mode, but I don't know if you're aware of it because it's in the body that I'm feeling. And they said that has a lot to do with the legs at this point. Um, so you are not meant to be aligned with this family. You are meant to be somewhere else. So something she said is she goes find a housemate. If go live with somebody until you can get your strength back. Find somebody that wants to share rent. Too bad you and Amy didn't live closer, as your mom says, and just there's all these little things. And I'll just just allow you to align to somebody that, because who, I feel a who, a what, where, when, why, how. So if there is another person, I feel like there's another person out there. Don't pick the wrong people, meaning if somebody is used to living alone, and just because they have the big space doesn't mean that they want somebody there, but there are people out there that are in need and want to combine. So I guess you'd put an ad, wouldn't you? Or look for something that they're moving in that same direction. Um, Mama says, what? You're working through a lot of second chakra issues. Do you want her to work on? No. Notice where you lack confidence, and then do L1D. I have no self-esteem. I lack confidence. Just push L1D, okay? And do this, okay? Because you're changing. All right. Next 1 minute, whatever.
Cassie Hester.
Did you say Kathy?
Cassie.
Cassie. I didn't think I heard that right. Damn. My head. Okay, so this is where your polarity is off. And sometimes when you have a polarity that's off, what's going to cause it is you'll start to feel out of sync. Your head may hurt, may feel physically sick. So it's just that it's just, ugh. If I ask, why is this happening? And they said, well, it has to do with their disdainfulness. So look towards your thinking, because we have 41 thoughts per minute, and look towards your thinking, because sometimes that thinking will cause you to move into a direction that, in this case, your body's responding, saying, oh my God, it's tired. It's the polarity's thrown off. They said that it's just one. So if you were to notice how under pressure you are, and are you doing this for other people? And if you have to, or if you are and you can't stop, there's a way you can change that, heal that. But in the meantime, the energy is just like nuts, not moving at all. Do you want both sides? Left. Right, just the left. They said if you go on your left foot and you find that your outer foot by the pinky toe, okay, so you're going to go from the fourth toe, and you're going to go up, and right in front of the ankle bone, there's like a dip or a hole, okay? That is the gallbladder point. And if you were to rub that 30 times, rub it 30 times, rub it 30 times, and it should start to build it up. And it should then just correct your polarity, and your head will start to feel better. Then they said to do Wayne Cook posture. And to get to that, you will go to medicinewomansolution.weebly.com, and you go there and look for, under healing tools, Wayne Cook posture, because you got scrambled energies. And as you're trying to focus and do what you need to do, you're getting thrown off center because of your energies. Bring the energies back to center and you'll feel better. All right, who's next?
Amanda. And Just 1 minute read.
Okay. All right, Amanda. The one thing that energetically, I feel like one ear is more hypersensitive than the other. And they said that the energy is deficient more on that side. And they said that it had to do with the having to feel like you have to be small. The kidney meridian that runs up on that side is affecting it. It's affecting the lung meridian, and it's affecting spleen and the large intestine. What does this all mean? Well, interestingly enough, they're saying you have to feel small because of yearning and that there's hopelessness. There's some energy that is not yours that's around you but is affecting you, and it's jealousy. It's really, and you're tired of hearing about the way some people speak. This is really affecting the health. Health of how you do things, health, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. Next.
Miss Patty, and she says, I saw the neurologist yesterday. I have post-concussion syndrome because it's been 3 months since I fell. I need to get an MRI. Can you tell me anything about this?
All right. This post-concussion has a lot to do with these end results. And this is you contracting your energy. You got to remember, there's a part of you that wants to stay where you are in your comfort zone. So you're going to go towards that. At the same time, spiritually you're meant to go in a different direction, but you're not sure about that. But it always sets to what is in your GPS. Now, what I've got to do is I'm going to look at something very specific for you, because people, a concussion is stunned, dizziness, confusion, unconscious, brain bruise. They are feeling traumatically over-demanded or overburdened and overwhelmed. Energy is that you're overwhelmed. Please look at this. They feel that at some level they no longer have the wherewithal to rise to the requirements of the situation. They're unwilling to continue with the impossible responsibilities they face. Now, this is when you easily go into, all right, I'll take care of you. Because that coping tool is trying to avoid the obsessive, hysterical nature of what you think other people think, and that what is the moral right thing to do. So that's just easily to do. You're just giving yourself to do things. And at the same time, you're like, I can't. Oh, God, no. But you don't know how to make your mouth say, oh, this is your responsibility. No, you do this. I'm not going to take this part. And you don't realize you're fighting with yourself. And so then concussion also could be, this is a new development for them, in that they have always considered it as they're somehow deserved depriving and punishment for being a moral cretin. And it is in pattern that it got started when they left their own devices and from the very beginning. So you had to take care of yourself. This is what you had to do. Or space case, they have been living too much in their head in high-flying, idealistic, ungrounded, impractical manner, and they need to get back to Earth and deal with the reality more responsibly. They were systemically under-required and overindulged by their keeping them around the old homestead. So if you weren't really allowed to go out in the world when you were younger and keep them around the homestead because you have this and that to do, and you really didn't have the ability to do that, but yet you had to, this is where it gets confusing. So again, this all relates to how it was a self-sabotage because of this program, even though you want to be this new person, okay? So Marie says, I apologize, I have an appointment for 45 minutes. Does this mean that somebody made an appointment with me? She has her own appointment, or she wanted a...
I think what it is she had that she was here earlier and she had to leave for 45 minutes.
Oh,
I believe.
so she just wanted her 1 minute, right? Or she just wasn't able to be supportive in the room. Okay, I'm not sure what that's about, but hopefully we can get me to be unconfused. So who's next?
Bobby, and she says, I just wanted to know about the dizziness that I've been feeling all day. What should I do to calm whatever it is down?
Okay. Okay, Bobby. So yeah, that's a dizziness issue. Okay. So your bladder meridian on your right side is not fluided properly. So that means there you have a frozen meridian. How many meridians? You got 2. So you have the bladder on the right side. Is the left okay? And the second one is the heart. Both sides? Okay. So we need to get you either use your hand or use a magnet, a refrigerator magnet that's low Gauss. It's not that strong, but it'll work and do the job. So smile. Huh? Okay. So we have to get you unfrozen. So for the heart, because they've said they want you to do the heart first, it's this point right here. Okay. It's not down here. It's not over here, but understand it's right where the bends and it's right there. Okay. It's not on the side. It's just like right in the bone. Okay. Doesn't matter because it's huge. You can just slap that across, turn the magnet, slap it again. You need to get that magnet to release the frozen aspect of it. So a good 12 times. You may have to do a little longer. You will go on each side, do both wrists. When you get that done, then you take your thumb and get in there and just rub it. Now they said 30 times, but do about 2 or 3 rounds of 30 times for the heart. We want to stabilize that and we want to balance that energy of the heart. Then you'll go down and you will just on the left side. Do you want her to do both just in case? Just the left. Right now it's the left side. And this is where you're going to take the magnet and do the same thing we just done. And you just have to remember it's the side of the foot. Pinky toe, just like right smack dab in the middle. And what you do, just imagine this is the side of my foot. Okay. Yeah, side of my foot. You're just going to do the same thing. And remember, it's on the side of the foot, left foot. And you're going to go back and forth, make sure that both sides. And when you get done, you take your finger, your thumb, probably your finger, get on there and you will rub. Don't worry. You're like, I can't. Take 3 fingers then, start rubbing that area on your foot, okay? And do several rounds of that. You're also going to have 1 little extra point on the left side. And this is very important, is that when you see your pinky toe and you have this bump that comes out here, that you'll feel the bones, you feel how it indents right there on the side of the foot, okay? It's on the side of the foot. So just imagine it's on the side of the foot. And you will feel how the bones begin to, like that joint that's in there. Get in there and rub that a good 30 times. Do several rounds of that because it's just getting everything established and working together. And then report back to me. Okay. So she had an appointment. Okay, good. You're having it back. Well, thank you. That is so nice of Marie. Thank you very much, darling. Again, what's this southern thing? Can you read that thing for Michelle? My eyes. Oh, here's mine.
Brenda, I just spoke to the father and let him know that his son needs him to forgive him and to let go. And he agreed to have a session with you ASAP.
Okay. All right. I will look forward to that. You guys, right after this show. We'll do that. Okay. So Bobby, again, recheck in with me after you're done. I want to make sure. So Ames, who's next?
Miss Vic.
Vicky.
She wants to know about her twin flame.
All right. Well, all of a sudden the word's just depleted. Are you depleted? The depleting energy between the two. What's that mean? It means that your soul, you understand a twin flame. She said twin flame, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you have to see the twin flame is the other half of you. So if you split me in half, my twin, okay. So there is a depletion of energy. So which means in this case, there is learning the importance of yourself, and then the ego aspect of what about me. So as you begin to define and change yourself, you're going to change the energy core between your twin flame and you. So what needs to be addressed so the twin flame can, this energy, and that is there's an emotionally repressed energy, and it is about stifling thyself. So at any point during that whole process, did you stifle yourself about that twin flame? And if so, that time is, you got to resolve that out. You have to change that to which you had. Okay, that makes any sense. But they're telling me that that's what you have to do because you've invested a lot of energy that needs to be taken off of that so it can be placed on growing. And the suppressing of guilt. There's a lot of guilt energy that was happened during that time. That needs to be changed as well. Okay, anybody else?
Vicky's friend Lisa is listening with her, and she wants to know about her son, Quinn.
Just done anything?
Just, Vicky said, for my friend Lisa that is listening with me, she wants...
There's a state of confusion that he's going through that has to do with growing process. He's picking up a lot of energy in the environment. He wants to be happy, but he doesn't know how to be happy. And at the same time, there's a lot of panic energy that he doesn't really know what to do about. And then he feels like that energies bully him, which puts him into the state of he's got to expand himself and, more outwardly, whether he's more assertive, he's more aggressive, or whatever it is. There's a part of him that like, I want to make that stop. So he's not sure exactly what all these feelings are, these emotions that are coming towards him, but he just knows that I want it to stop. And so this is where he feels like the lack of power. This is where, oh, my nose is running. What's that about? Is it an inner crying? An inner crying that he doesn't even know. He's like, there's an inner cry. So how old is this son? That's what I'm curious about. And number two, I'm going to tell you right now that the energy, I don't know if you can help your son, whether or not he'll allow you to, what the heck's going on with my nose? If you could, again, Vicky knows, hook up, Celtic weave, connecting heaven and earth, and getting those energies off of him, getting his energy to stabilize with the hookup, he can be more back to who he is, because he's being greatly influenced. He's 20. Hopefully he'll, he may not even be for this, but at the state, I don't know if that makes any sense to you or not. Okay, what else?
Miss Pilly.
Miss who?
Miss Pilly.
I swear to God, there was whole nother word I heard, and I thought that can't be right.
What did you hear me say?
Puby. I'm like, what the fuck's Puby?
Pilly.
Pilly. I gotcha. All right, Miss Pilly. That sounds more like it. Okay. What's going on? There's a complex of a dream and self having to feel small, feeling small, and checking out. So you're being complex. You got several little emotions. Here's my dream, but I feel small, but you can't make your dream come if you're going to allow yourself to be in that space. So they're saying, start noticing these particular parts of yourself. And if you're going to feel small, change it up. Learn to broadcast Pilly's voice and message out. in such a way that this is what casts your dreams to come true. When you dream of the self, gotcha. I used to smoke, and I was like, I can't quit. I can't do this. Oh my God, I gotta fine. And then Spirit says, I remember sitting, I go, thank you, Spirit. And all of a sudden, the Spirit helped my brain see this. And it was, oh yeah, just one day I'm just going to be non-smoker. Somebody will just point it out, hey, you haven't smoked today. And then I'm a non-smoker. And so I thought, well, interesting. So I just thought, okay. So I ran with that. And it happened because all of a sudden one day it's like somebody said to me, and I turned around and looked and go, oh, I'll be dang. Thank you. Thank you very much. So now when I see little things like that, I just, oh, thank you. Because I already did it once. That means I've already stepping into my future self. My future self already knows that you've done it, and therefore it's trying to communicate to you that you've done it. So I'm just tapping into, yeah, so you don't have to. She says, I dream a lot. Okay, so make some of those dreams come true. And you can use the golden lasso to help do that, because you can start getting those issues out. Use the VAKS, V-A-K-S, a healing tool to help you to really connect in a certain way. Or you can just say, Spirit, I may not understand what it looks like or what it feels like, but just know it's so. So then you can come up with an interesting picture for yourself that you can believe in without having to counteract it. Okay, next.
I think that is it. I don't have any more emails. Nope.
Okay. Let me just double check on the we're all good there. Since there's nobody else that wants a reading, then a paid one. And just double checking the room. Well, we thank you. Oh, Lori, I sent mine earlier, but it didn't come. That's okay. Lori, we'll take you right now. Just a general. Now, there is something to do with incompatible with self-security. So if you don't really feel secure, there's an incompatibility. Something is causing you to not feel security. And that's a jealous energy that's in the space, whether it's you or someone else or it's towards you or however it is, or if you're watching it and you're picking it up, whatever it is, the point is that energy is there and it needs to go. And they said that what happens is that when that energy comes in, you kind of do an automatic response of checking out. And when you do, you don't realize that that was your coping tool. They want you to become aware of it, and they want you to be able to start healing that out. Because there's a part of you that feels like when you do something, the effort is unreceived, and then it takes a backlash. So Marie, your 1 minute for Marie is... Okay, so some days are good, some days are bad, but notice that the words that you do to discourage, the words that you hear others to discourage, become aware of discouragement. Start to define it, start to see it, start to say, wait a minute, do I really have to use those words to discourage? Because it's like, it's the same pattern. I don't want to get my hopes up, so I'm going to discourage myself. Or I'm going to do it, and then somebody comes along because they don't believe in that, or believe in you or whatever, they discourage you. So you keep track of it, and then you're going to say no. And then you can use different types of healing tools, tapping, put your hand in your forehead, the oh my God, that can change you to stop, keep going into it. And you need to break the habit. So it's not just looking at it once, you need to make sure you check on it all the time. And when somebody begins to discourage you, it may be just their shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't have to take it on. LaRonda.
She didn't know she was going to be up yet.
Oh, she's awake. Oh, Bobby says, I feel so much better. I had a feeling tingling in my back to my up my back to my head. Ooh. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, sweetheart. Let me just double check you real quick. Okay, so you're just on the avenue of what you do towards yourself to keep yourself safe, and so we'll eventually have to heal that. So LaRonda, LaRonda. All of a sudden, I see you hooting and dancing, enjoying life. And they said that there's a fear of compensation, morphine, because of over discouraged. So do you discourage? Do you hear other people get discouraged and then you take that in? And do you then run with it and think with it, and then you become over discouraged and you don't even know you're doing that? But at the same time, you go and you you attach yourself to joy and to do that. But at the same time, this is like simmering. And one of the things they want you to do is to notice that within that, you start to form a self-imposed limitation, and you just have to begin to notice it. Okay, you have to start to begin to notice it and say, wait a minute, do I need to do certain things the same way? Am I really that coping? So you get to change this part of yourself. Okay, anybody else in the room that wants a 1 minute? Just double checking. Wonderful, you're welcome, Marie. And let's see, anybody else? So you guys have been really good. It's funny. There may not be class tomorrow. It's a very interesting energy. It's been coming in for the last 2 days. And I said, will there be? And they said, I don't know. And I'm like, that's not an answer. I'm going to aim for it, but don't be surprised if it gets canceled, just so that you know, because like I said, things come in only because Spirit wants things to be taught. And I don't know if I know we're almost done resetting, but there's something strange to do with the transitional state we're doing. So I'm not sure if tomorrow we're having class or not. So again, I can't. I'm waiting for them to give me more information. Just not happening. Hey, Lillian. I'll give Lillian did you want a 1 minute read, Lillian? Oh, you guys are wonderful. Marie says, my Peter looks like Mr. Magoo right now. He's tired. Oh, I know that feeling.
Uh-huh. I know that feeling that you, geez.
Okay, so Lillian, you're 1 minute. That's funny because all I heard was don't be discouraged. And they says, well, I can't help it because there's awkwardness. And I said, oh, well, all right. And it's like, you have to start focusing on the future, which means they want you to see the turnaround and just say, okay, this is what's going on. This is what's going on. Instead of focusing and getting discouraged, just say, thank you, Spirit, show me the turnaround. And then you're going to start seeing little glimpses of things that are going to turn it around, little glimpses that are going to show you that it's going to get better and better. It's just taking to changing this. And they said it's hard for you to come to the realization that things are changing, but at the same time, you're going to get glimpses that's going to show you that you can have this. They says there's a part of you that has been running with the ego and feeling like I have been in the dark. But at the same time, as you enter the void, because it's in reverse, is that you're going to see the blessings that are in there and why everything's changing out for it's the way it is. And you won't have to use guilt or be discouraged. You're going to go with that particular flow. Oh, Diana says, yes, I'm feeling it for whatever's going on. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's just, it's hard to explain what that is about. Yeah, Lillian, I know it has those things. I agree. We just go into that great fear. And they said, if you can just start putting your hand on your forehead and I know you feel helpless to some degree, but you just, there's a bigger picture that's unfolding. It is realizing that things are changing out and it's not pretty to some degree of how that looks. We don't want things to change. Did I really want to divorce my husband and then remarry at the time? No. I knew that I wanted to get away from my first husband or my one husband because I was done. But did I think we were going to get divorced? Several times I wanted to, but I just thought no. And then it's like, no, I don't want to believe this. It's not that I didn't want to believe it as much as love can pull you in a direction that you don't think that you'd ever want to go in. But I was also needed to stay in a comfort zone. I thought this is the right thing to do. But then when I finally started closing doors and just taking my power back and changing, it changed me in such a way that allowed me to let things go with the flow. And can change you into a new direction. Anyway, I think we're all good. So hang in there, Lillian. Hang in there. Your husband has to make some major decisions in his life right now. It's hard to do when you have the same pattern that happens over and over again. And he hasn't come to that conclusion of what he wants to do. It's just like same shit, different day. And he really needs to heal something to get to that next level. And this pandemic's not helping much, but Okay, so again, thank you very much. We resolved to evolve.
Heal instead of deal.
You can heal that.
Feel it to heal it.
Did we ever think of that fifth one?
No.
Well, get out of it, woman. Just kidding. All right. As always, please stay blessed.
Stay blessed.